Welcome to Survivor NSFW. Oh my God, Jonny Fairplay. This is a very special, monumental night for me because you have once again made me agree to watch another fucking reality TV show that I've never really watched in my life. This is our Bachelorette edition. We have very special guest, Emma Turner, who will be joining us the entire season of The Bachelorette. Emma, how you doing?
Yay! I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing excellent.
I'm great. I'm glad. All right. So for those of you that just listened to the show, you can find it at survivornsfw.com. Gives you all the links to listen on iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you podcast. However, this is also available via our Patreon, and that's patreon.com/survivornsfw. And I look at Matt's fucking ass every fucking week talking Survivor, and though he does have an amazing beard, and it's a thing of beauty, and myself, I can look in the fucking mirror if I want to see me. Emma Turner, you are beautiful. I don't know if anyone's ever told you this.
Thank you. I don't get tired of hearing it, so.
Okay. So you do hear, because you also have another podcast in which you talk about guys that might meet you, and then whatever you guys decide to do, and then you possibly ghosting them or them ghosting you. There's more ghosts than an average person's game of Pac-Man going on in your dating life.
Yeah, I'm talking about dating and all of the downfalls. I should have really been the Bachelorette, but.
Yeah.
Why don't
but
you
you're too busy.
Why don't
you're
you
too
apply
busy
for
dealing
next
with
time?
you're dealing with fuck boys.
Exactly.
Got a bunch of fuck boys in her life. You don't understand.
It's not just in my life. They're just there's so many, 90% of guys out there. They're just
fuck boys.
Well, I can tell you this, after watching the fucking Bachelorette tonight, 90% of the guys I saw were fucking douchebags.
Totally, I agree with that.
Come on. The one-liners, I can't wait to get into this. This is the Bachelorette. Now, I recall here's the deal. As a Survivor fan, I've seen some reality TV shows here and there. I may have seen, 10 years ago, something on The Bachelor, but I don't watch the shit. And I went into watching The Bachelorette when, Jonny told me, hey, Matt, by the way, we're going to do this podcast with Emma. I'm like, okay, cool. He talked me into doing freaking Celebrity Big Brother, which honestly, I was hating life when the very first episode that we did. But by the end, I was like, wow, this is pretty fucking cool. And at the beginning of this episode, I was like, oh, God, what the fuck has Jonny Fairplay got me into?
It does start cheesy.
It does. And the funny thing is, I have friends of mine staying with me right now for about, 5 days doing some projects around my house. BMX buddies of mine.
He's got dudes. He's got Emma. He's got men, not like me. He's got men at his house, and he posted a picture on social media of these men watching The Bachelorette like bitches.
That's amazing.
Yeah, they're we're all BMX bike rider guys, and they're just like, you're watching this shit, and then they started getting sucked into it, and wow, I can't wait to see what happens next week. This shit's hilarious, but
that's amazing.
So honestly, I'm pretty excited. I'm open-minded. I'm ready to roll, and this is Bachelorette. I don't know what season this is. The chick, his name is Hannah. She's kind of a, Southern Belle from Alabama. She was on The Bachelor prior to this. Now
with Colton, right? Is it? Give us what we need to know going into this.
Yeah,
Emma.
I want to know the history of Hannah prior to being contacted by that Chris dude who calls her to say, "Hey, we want you to be the Bachelorette." Prior to that, what is her history with this franchise of reality TV?
Yeah.
I think she was kind of a good girl. Mm-hmm. And the Southern Belle, but when it was showing the I guess flash forwards, is that what it's called? Fast forwards?
Sure.
Right.
Yeah.
like, and her talking to the guys in this season, like, I think you're seeing a whole new side of her. Like, she is a bad bitch. Like, I'm so proud of her. Like, she's like transformed into like more of a woman, I guess. And I was like really enjoying the fast forward clips that we were getting of her.
But she was really likable before, she was the kind of girl that's just like, oh man, like, you know, I would, you know, she's the kind of girl you bring home to mom. And
yeah,
then,
it's down to earth.
Yeah. And then now we're seeing like she's just like, well, you know, I bought some sexy panties. Let's break these motherfuckers in.
You don't want to mess with her. She's like, don't mess with me. And that's great. I like that.
So,
well, we learned at the beginning that she's as real as it gets. And she also makes a really ugly cry face. I did notice those two things right off the bat. But we zoom into Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and she's in shock that they're asking her to be to be the Bachelorette, but there's a fucking film crew there. That might have been a hint, Hannah.
Yeah. You wonder how genuine that is. Like, what do you
Not
expect?
at all. That's what Matt's sitting there, I guarantee, cursing his television, going, "This is more Celebrity Big Brother bullshit."
I know.
Yeah, you got to know something's going down. But you know,
Yeah.
it's funny because I noticed like he first, you know, Chris, the host dude, is like asks if he wants to be the Bachelorette. She seems all nervous, but then he's like, she's like, "Are you serious? Are you serious?" And he's like, "No, you know, yes, I'm serious. I'm telling you." You are the Bachelorette. And she keeps saying how, you know, in shock she is, kind of, you know? And, and she is, you know who she reminds me of, Jonny, is she's Miss Alabama. She's obviously grown up in the pageant scene. She's that Southern belle, as Emma was saying. She kind of reminds me of like a Jeffra from Survivor, right? So, like, there's always that Miss Kentucky, or on my season of Survivor Caramoan, Miss Missouri. So she has that, you know, Southern charm. We obviously know that, kind of seeing later in the episode when she's praying a lot, that she's a hardcore Christian. And
I thought you were going to go Honey Boo Boo. I was very relieved to see that you didn't, like, you know, like Honey Boo Boo is ready to break in her panties. I was like, this podcast would have taken a terrible turn.
I don't know what happened. So she was on, Jonny, you were saying that with this Colton dude, and maybe you watch it, Emma, on The Bachelor. It's like,
why didn't she get chosen by Colton?
Right.
I don't know. That's a good question for Colton.
Oh, that's a cool question. Okay,
that's perfect answer. So we go kind of.
Hold on. While she's still in Tuscaloosa, I have to say this because I don't know anything about this lady and or girl, whatever. I'm trying. Lady,
woman, chick.
Well, yeah, woman would work.
I mean, I'm trying to be respectful to. I mean, because you know, we'll see how long that respect lasts. But I found right out of the chute, I found her uncomfortableness very charming. You know, she did the Will Ferrell, like, I don't know what to do with my hands. Like, I am the king of I don't know. Like, you know, I've done 70 reality shows, and they're just like, hey, and you're just like, I don't just give me, you know, that's why I do the fucking Fairplay show all the time. I don't know what the fuck to do with my hands. So it's just like, yeah, they're like Jonny Fairplay's throwing up gang signs. It's like, yeah, because you look stupid going, I don't know.
Right. I talk with my hands all the time.
Yeah.
I think it's natural to do that shit,
so,
man.
So does what's his name? Old Matt Donald's family. They talk with their hands all the time too.
I didn't notice that.
Because they're deaf.
Yeah. So here's the thing.
We'll be doing things called jokes throughout the podcast. I'm like, feel free to join in or not.
So after we find out,
caught me off guard.
They do the backstory of who Emma is, her hometown, her background, kind of leading up to this is the Bachelorette, and you're learning about her, right? Then
you said Emma.
I'm sorry, Hannah. So Hannah, Emma, it's the same thing. It's real similar. But then we see the fucking dudes. There's 30 dudes that are going to be in this mansion. And we start kind of seeing a little bit of background of who these guys are, and I would say
only the good ones. Only the good ones are getting videos here. They're like the nobodies. They get a little clip at the airport on a plane or in the taxi ride over. But no, the true heroes of our story. They get the backstory at home, and we start with Tyler, who is a dancing contractor, went to Wake Forest University, and he's gay, I believe. What? Am I wrong?
And he does really shitty cartwheels, dude.
Oh my God, his dancing was like such a turn off. He was physically, his face was like attractive for a male, but just like the dancing was like, no.
Like when he shows up at the actual mansion, he looked drunk. He was just like, yeah, I just came to fucking get it. Just grab a 6-pack and, if you want to fuck, whatever.
Oh my God.
Well, the reason that I love, Emma, you being, doing this whole deal with us is to get a woman's perspective. Because like, as I'm watching this, my wife kind of walked in and
laughed at you.
And she just like, what the fuck? Like these dudes are douches. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah, a lot of them were.
And I think obviously they're trying like overly hard to impress and stuff like that. But we see another guy, man. After the dancing construction guy, we see Peter the pilot. He comes from an aviation family.
Not gay.
I don't think he was gay. I thought he was cute.
I said not gay. I thought my notes.
He was a really good contender.
He is. You know what? I thought he was my number one contender right out of the show. I'm just like, man, this guy, like, he's from an aviation family. I think he's good looking. But but there was a certain scenes like in the final like rose ceremony thing. He has a creepy look to him from certain angles and at certain times. Doesn't he look a little creepster sometimes?
I was just worried he wasn't gonna get picked.
But I still think he has like a creep, a little bit like he's not like. I felt like he was a lot better looking at the beginning of the episode than I did by the end of the episode.
I thought he was like he maintained his attractiveness throughout.
Okay. Well, maybe people that are blinded by his pilot looks don't see past that maybe, he's actually creepy looking in certain lights. I mean, maybe it's fluorescent lighting that is not his friend, because I know, for a lot of people that's the case. And getting back to the female perspective, Emma, prior to you, I was Matt's female perspective, so I'm even more happy that you're here than Matt. Like Matt makes me tuck it and say things I don't mean. It's uncomfortable for both of us. I promise.
Are you sure you don't mean them though?
Well, I mean, sometimes. I'm trying to be partially honest here.
That's right. So then we go to Joe the box salesman. So this dude, like, I can. There might have been a guy in between, but I
there's a few guys. Hold on. You had Mike.
Yeah.
Mike Johnson. His name's Mike Johnson. He'll say Mike Johnson about 18 more times.
He was
so geeky.
Yeah.
So geeky. Such a geek.
And he's a great grandma's boy, and she was giving him advice, and his great grandma was like old, and I was waiting for her to be like, now go out there and make sure she's not a white woman. That's we didn't get that. That was good. It would have been made better television.
I liked the fact that he like respects women and has good women in his life, but I
like the fact he says Mike Johnson 18 times the sentence. Mike Johnson.
He was not the only one though who was like that with their name. So
we'll get to that winner. So, but then we get the Box King, Matt. Obviously, your favorite.
Joe the box salesman. This guy can, if you're moving or need a box. I mean, Jonny Fairplay, he can probably supply you with a lot of boxes for selling your vinyl records and all the bullshit that you sell. But I know the only box he wants to see is Hannah's.
Yeah, I wanted to see Hannah's box. That's.
But this guy seems fucking douchey, man. He really does.
In
my opinion.
Douchey cute beside Joe. Douchey cute.
Douchey cute. That's a good representation.
Sure.
Yeah.
Well, when I first saw him, I'm just like, I hate his guts. I'd like to punch him in the face. And then the more I saw of him, I think I hated him more and wanted to punch him more. But then I'm thinking, as the episode progressed, I was just like, if this dude's fucking gone, I'm gonna miss him. Because like that, like I could like, you know, like I don't want her to pick him. There's no way he could win. You know, there's none of that. But I'm just like, this guy's trying to give us some good television. You know, the effort's there. He's got the fucking box. He talks about boxes. You know, he's got his shitty fucking Italian accent. So I don't know. Like, as I said, like I found myself torn halfway into the 2 hour. Please tell me these episodes aren't 2 hours every week.
I think it's just 1 hour.
Okay.
Thank God. If I have to sit through 2 hours, like, yeah, Jonny, I'm like,
I'll fly to Cincinnati. We'll hold hands during.
Well, earlier today, I was like, Jonny, so what time's the show on? He's like, oh, it's 8. I'm like, oh, cool, 8 to 9. He's like, no, 8 to fucking 10. I'm like, fuck,
No,
I gotta watch 2 hours of this
10:01.
shit. Yeah,
it was 8 to 10:01.
But yeah, Joe the Box Salesman, yeah, douchey dude. Then we see Matt the Farmer. All right, he's a huge Bachelor and Bachelorette fan.
Old MacDonald.
Oh yeah.
Old Matt Donald.
Way too preppy. He looked like he should be on like Riverdale.
He did. I thought he had a good story. Like, you know, his family loves Alabama. You know, they're all about the Roll Tide. He's from a deaf household. You know, he's sitting there signing with the family. I thought it was something that, you know, if him and Hannah had that discussion, she would be like, oh my God, like how, and none of that like, you know, he shows up on the fucking tractor and she's like, you have a stupid hat. I think you're stupid. And it never made it past that.
Oh my God. And his song, that was him, right? The old MacDonald, Matt MacDonald.
Oh,
that was so out of tune, so like cringy.
There was a lot of but I thought his story at home, I was just like, this guy has to be an odds-on favorite. I mean, like, you know, Southern background, family loves Alabama, and you know, and you know, I don't, like, you know, I know a little bit of, you know, for those on Patreon, I know that, you know, I'm pretty prolific. Once again, that's patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. The best way to support the podcast. It's like throwing a little bit in the tip jar, and you get our bonus content with the Q&A show and all the other stuff. And you get to see the beautiful Emma, which if you're not, you're missing out. So, and Matt's beard. So that's there's that.
Good to see my beard. That's right.
Oh, and my shirt. And let me before we go any further, let me explain the shirt. So Matt noticed around the bat, around the shoot, I'm rocking a Poison Open Up and Say Ah t-shirt. And Emma, I'm sure you're like, Jonny Fairplay, why would you be wearing that?
Jonny Fairplay, why would you be wearing that?
Oh, well, glad you asked. One of the big hits, Every Rose Has Its Thorn.
Oh, clever.
We'll see if I can continue this trend every week.
Oh yeah, you are.
I think you should.
You're gonna be wearing a Guns N' Roses t-shirt next fucking week. Fair play.
That is. I was looking forward to tonight.
You ruined it for him. It was supposed to be a surprise.
I blew it. So then, you know, after Matt the Farmer, we go to Connor the Car Salesman. He's got Chinese grandparents. You know, they're touching on that immigrant background. And
no one's looking for, like, tell me I'm wrong here, Emma, but no girl is just like, you know, like, I'd love, like, my dream of all dreams is to be the Bachelorette, and I have my choice of any fucking, like, God, if only I could get a car salesman. Like, never, right?
I don't think it matters really to that extent.
Oh shit! There's no if there's a pilot there and a car salesman, I'm just like, you know.
Well, she didn't.
Yeah, well, Emma's basically saying that, like, from her perspective, it doesn't fucking matter what the dude fucking does. So, Jonny Fairplay, what are you gonna say? I'm a podcaster on The Bachelorette. Are you gonna get fucking shunned for that shit?
Well, that was like, I was actually made fun of watching the episode tonight. It's just like, are you going to go apply for the bat? I'm like, yeah, I probably am. It's like, oh, I can't wait to see. Hi, I'm John. I'm a podcaster. So, but Matt, I mean, like, you could put like former BMXer, you know.
Oh yeah, right. No.
I mean, there's there's cooler shit. I mean, Car Salesman, I think, on the hierarchy, I mean, like, typically, Car Salesman has a sleazy reputation. I just don't think a girl's just like, man, if only there's a fucking car. Never.
But you never know. What if he's a car salesman for fucking Tesla, Maserati? He could be a fucking...
There you go.
Bam.
There's a good point. And also, some girls, like, don't care what you do for a living. They care about the person inside.
There are girls that date, like, just, I mean, like most strippers, they date guys that don't have jobs.
Mm-hmm. Why is that?
I don't know. That's why they strip, to buy them iPhones and shit. I don't know. It's like...
That's fucking hilarious. So
pay their rent.
After this car sales, dude, we go to Luke, dude. He's a Christian dude, you know, and I
love
know
him.
You love? Oh, please tell me.
I love him.
So
Matt, did you notice he's an importer exporter?
Oh, I did notice that.
I did not notice that. I didn't look at any of their jobs.
Look at there. You're the exact opposite of a guy. Like a guy knows. Like I'm sitting there importer. I'm like, do you think he works at Vandalay Industries?
I think I look at them and I judge them from like the outside perspective and what they were showing and I wasn't like, okay, this is his age. This is what he does. Like, I was like, okay.
You're judging him by how he looks and how he talks. Yeah,
what he's bringing to the table.
Right.
First impression. I feel like that's what a first impression should be, and then maybe we'll look at that later on.
If you could pick one word to describe Luke, what did you write on a piece of paper?
I wrote cocky.
Okay, Matt, what did you write?
I wrote Christian dude.
I wrote stupid. I fucking hate Desperate Luke. And I will get... Desperate Luke has a fucking relative that has a kid, and this guy hasn't had a new hobby in 4 months. So he's like, well, I want a kid. I'm going to get me a kid. I'm going to Bachelor, make a kid. So,
well, I tell you what.
Dumb Desperate Luke.
It's
just looking for a new hobby.
If I'm single and I think Hannah is like 24 maybe. That's pretty fucking young. To me, like, obviously, you know, a lot of people's dream in life is to, like, you know, have a family, have a house, 2 kids,
this is
and a dog.
A new dream for Luke.
But dude, like, man, like, when I first met my wife, like, I was just like, I want to meet someone fucking rad to hang out with, and I wasn't really thinking about having kids immediately.
Were you thinking about practicing?
Oh, practicing, yes, of course. but like, we would go on road trips and do all, like, we lived our life, man. We did a lot of fucking cool shit, man. And like, sometimes I think, like, man, a dude that comes on too strong about, oh, having kids, this, that, right off the bat, I don't know if that could be a turn off or a turn on for a chick. You know what I mean?
Well, that's why Emma's here.
Right. I think it totally depends on where the chick is at in this scenario.
Right.
Like,
well, where's Hannah at? She's 24. She's on The Bachelorette.
I think that she wants, like, the whole marriage and then kids. And I think that him being upfront and being like, yeah, like, I'm ready for a kid is showing her that they have more of a future beyond just the Bachelorette show.
Right.
And I think that will play well for him.
I'd be like, I want like a spinoff, and and I want to be the Bachelor next season.
Dude,
and maybe.
No, but I'm saying having kids is the best. Like, I have 2 kids. Having kids was the fucking greatest thing that I've ever done in my fucking life, and I've done a lot of fucking cool shit. However, the 5 or 6 or 7 years, I can't keep track of this shit, of like being with my wife before kids and having like wild, crazy sex on top of the Grand Canyon and in the fucking gondola going up to Palm Springs, like all this wild ass shit and fun road trips and experiences. Once you have kids, I'm not saying that the shit fucking stops, but I think like you gotta have time, dude, to like really spend with your spouse or your lover or whatever prior to.
No, you have to have good timing.
Yeah, because
you get time to get that shit in.
Yeah, otherwise it's like, man, once you bring a kid into the fucking relationship, if you're not solid on a lot of levels, then shit can get fucking bad quick. You know what I mean? So I think that maybe Luke, I think it's cool that he's like, hey, I want to have a family one day, but if I'm the dude going on the Bachelorette, I would probably take it a little bit slower, like not put on the fucking like future plans right away. But you never know what Hannah's wanting, and obviously she's what you guys are saying. She wants a fucking long-term dude, like her husband. She is hoping to find in this house.
All right, I got a question for both of you guys. All right,
Yeah.
So let's just say you're 24 years old, or even now. You can look at it from either perspective. Mm-hmm. But say you're single.
Right.
Would you do the Bachelorette or the Bachelor?
For me, that I'd probably say no. Well, they're not going to ask a fucking troll with a 5 foot long fucking beard to do that.
They might be going a different direction. You never know.
But I don't know, dude. Like my friends and I, the dudes that are at my house, were like, dude, like, are you this desperate to fucking try to find a girlfriend on a reality show and then get butt hurt when you don't get a fucking rose or some shit? I don't know if I would do it. Now, Emma, I can see you maybe doing it.
I am single and I would do it because I feel like I've dated the normal way.
Yeah.
And it's just like, what else is left? Why not?
Yeah.
I might as well.
Right. I don't blame you.
But you're seeing, I mean, so like I'd imagine they film, if I'm guessing 3 months. So it's you, 30 dudes in 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'm cool with that because usually I feel like it's the other way around. It's like I'm dating one guy and he's dating 30 girls. So like I would like for it to be the other way around. You know what I mean? Like I'm dating 30 guys and they're there for me. So first of all, I'm getting so much attention, which check, I like. Yeah. And you know, what else do I need to list? That just sounds perfect for me. Sign me up for the Bachelorette.
But you're cool with, after 3 months, it's just like, all right, I trust them to find someone remotely good enough that I would marry in a pool of 30 dudes.
I feel like, yes.
Well, I mean, put it this
That's crazy.
Put it this way, Jonny.
But I've already dated so many people and like tried it like the normal way and like.
You're like, fuck it. It's got to be better than this shit.
Exactly.
Yeah, but if Emma goes on The Bachelorette, right? She would get. There's obviously a lot of fucking people that watch this show. So even if love did not work out on The Bachelorette, then Emma would have all this attention on Facebook and Instagram and fucking Snapchat. And
someone would slide into my DMs and then.
Yes, the odds of her.
I've slid to your DMs and there's no perks. I get more perks from Matt. Matt sends me more pictures than you do.
But yeah, no, I hear it. So she would do it. You would do it, Emma. You would do the this show.
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, ABC, if you're listening, hit her up. So then we go to.
Whoa! Hold on. What about me? What do you think? I'm thinking. I'm thinking. Yeah. I'm thinking yes.
Yeah. Johnny, you would do it. You just want to you would love to just fucking see how many girls you could make out with on fucking national TV and bang chicks.
You know what? I was going to say this question for later, but all right, we'll go ahead and get. All right, so we saw Hannah tonight make out with 3 separate dudes, right?
Multiple. She made out with multiple dudes. Yes.
3 dudes. Okay. Would you be cool? Like, if I'll start with you, Emma. If you saw a dude, or if you knew a dude, you didn't see it. If you knew a dude made out with 2 other chicks before you that evening, would you be okay, like, kissing that dude?
In a normal scenario, hell no. But if you're on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, then like, you know what to expect. Like, I wouldn't be happy about it, but I would know what we were all doing there. I would do it. Yeah, I would do it on the show. But no, if I'm like out at a bar and some guy's making out with another girl, like,
you blew your chance with me forever. Goodbye. We're done.
Forever. Wow.
Forever.
Matt, what about you? If you saw a girl, or if you knew a girl made out with two other pre-marriage, you know, like you're on the prowl,
right.
This girl's hot, but you know, you didn't see it, but you know she made out with two other dudes that night, would you still make out with her?
I mean, it's kind of crazy to put myself in this position, but yes, as you know, you're on a TV show and you know how this shit rolls. So if you go in
TV show, yes, not TV show, no.
Yeah, I mean, if it's on The Bachelorette, you know kind of what to expect. But yeah, in real life, I don't know, man. I mean, I've been with my wife for 21 years. You know, I'm a 45. I don't know it's hard to fucking answer. But on The Bachelorette, hey, you're fucking like, the whole point is you have to know how someone kisses and how someone reacts physically and emotionally and spiritually and all these different things. So you got to do that kind of shit, because how else are you going to know?
That's true. You don't have a lot of time.
You don't. So you got to know if you sense a connection and a vibe from somebody, you got to kind of roll with it. So when she's making out with these different dudes, there's 3 of them that we just said. She obviously felt something special with those dudes. Otherwise, she wouldn't. I don't think this girl's like some kind of hoe that's just going to make out with dudes. But it's hey, she's on this TV show to find the man of her dreams and her husband.
And kissing is important.
Yeah,
kissing is important.
And you can get a fucking vibe from somebody quickly like that.
Like
totally.
All right. Tell me if I'm wrong here. All right. So I had a 3-way one time with this girl and my friend. It was a dude, and no sword crossing, and and like we were making out, and you know, and then she did stuff, and then they were making out, and then she blew him, and then she came back for a kiss from me, and I'm like, whoa, and she was just like, what's wrong? I just blew you too, and I'm like, we're good.
Well,
like,
is that what, Jonny?
I mean, isn't that the right I mean, like, I kind of feel like Hannah. I'm just like, you know, or, you know, one of the dudes are like, no, we don't need to kiss again. Like, I mean, I purposely got in my kissing early because I knew where shit was going. I'm just like, something's going to end up in her mouth.
Your scenario is different. You're talking about dicks. I totally get it from your point of view, like not wanting to kiss her after someone else's dick was in her mouth. But
right?
Like kissing other people, it's just like whatever. Like, do you not share drinks with people? Like
conversely, there was a time when me and my other buddy were with this other, like we picked up this girl at it doesn't matter. So anyway, so we go back to my place and so she's performing play show and I finish, but my buddy doesn't know. And then he kisses her, and I'm like in tears laughing. and he looks over at me, and he was like, "Did you finish?" And I go, "You just got fair played, my man."
That's disgusting. That is so gross.
I'm a pretty good friend.
Oh my God. So, dude,
you gotta pay attention to situations, is what I'm saying. I mean,
you do, but I mean,
caveat emptor, let the buyer beware.
Yes. So all I know is I'm gonna skip through. There's a lot of fucking douches and a lot of nervous dudes.
Oh, well,
there's 30 bachelors.
Sure, just a couple notables. Garrett, the golf pro, he says he's the hole-in-one. Maybe he's
cute.
Maybe he's an asshole. I don't know. That was the Jed, singer-songwriter from Nashville.
Geeky. No.
You didn't like him?
No.
I typically, if a guy shows up with the guitar, I would like to smash it over their fucking head. That's my rule of thumb. Typically, I thought he was a pretty decent singer. Anyway, okay. Tyler seemed drunk. Dylan, the tech entrepreneur.
No. Back to Tyler. I liked him.
But didn't he have like a drunk by like just like, where's the party? Like he reminded me like mine sans mustache he reminded me of Matthew McConaughey in Dazed and Confused. And dropped a little bit of the gay vibe from his earlier intro video.
What? No. I enjoyed his intro. He like came in and was like, "You're absolutely killing that dress." He went in and he was just like,
he had confidence. He had a little swag.
I liked it. And it was just like, he didn't need to go in with like gimmicks or like go over the top with anything. He was just like, "You look dope. I'll see you later." And it was like, okay.
I think that's the way to be. It's like these over-the-top rehearsed speeches that people are doing, over and over. It's like, God, it's just so fucking cheesy. If you just go in and be like, "Hey, I'm a big fan of you from the Bachelor, and you're beautiful, and I cannot wait to get to meet you," and you just stay chill and cool, you're gonna fucking make it farther in this game. Unless you're an over-the-top fucking... But these people know they're going to be on national TV. So they're like, I'm going to fucking practice my one-liner shit. But, God, me watching the shit, it was fucking cheesy. So there's 30... Go ahead, Ron.
Well, hold on. The guy that jumps over the fence, he's all sweaty by the time he gets to her. Like, tell me if I'm wrong, Emma, but does a girl like a really sweaty guy when she first meets him? Is that... like, not involved... Yeah, not involved in any sports ball whatsoever, just walking up in a suit going, "Hi, I'm really sweaty."
I can't really say a whole lot. I think I'm a really sweaty girl, so maybe we would have more in common.
Oh. You know who also would be great for you? John Paul Jones.
Oh my God, no.
Who works at John Paul Jones and goes by the name of John Paul Jones.
Yeah.
He gave me an American Psycho vibe.
Right?
Yeah.
He has killed animals as a youth.
Yeah, absolutely.
He probably has. Yeah, he's
and dressed them up in little things, and So no, there's something wrong. Scott software. Oh, I can't wait to get to Scott. Darren, the IT specialist, looked like Jerome Bettis's kid. Thomas had a tooth gap. He's an international ball player, which means he didn't really make it anywhere that counts. And Joey, the finance manager, had the baby car seat. Who doesn't love props? Everyone. Ryan, the roller boy. Hunter, the pro surfer. Grant, unemployed, and brought mustard to the sausage party.
Oh my God.
Kevin has football. Jonathan with the pizza party. Okay, so Luke, she says she met him on After the Rose. Now, I was under the impression that tonight was the premiere of The Bachelorette, but apparently there is a premiere for the premiere last week, After the Rose. What the fuck was that?
I don't know. I did not watch that.
I did not either, so we are all on the same page.
Okay. Well, I'm glad that we all took notice of the fact that it said tonight was the premiere. So why watch anything else related to The Bachelorette whatsoever? I'm sitting there. I'm like, how are there 15 fucking podcasts in the top 100 talking about the fucking Bachelor, and it doesn't even fucking come on until next week?
The reason that I love what we're doing is because this shit is fucking real. Like, Jonny and I don't watch this shit. We're being honest about not watching the fucking Before the Rose crap, and we just watched it tonight for the first time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's 30 of these dudes. There is what is called a first impression rose that will be given.
Well, but there was a pre-impression rose that was given on After the Rose to Cam, who rapped about Nick Saban. Now, if you know anything about Alabama football rules, Alabama, male and female, and Hannah is a shining example of how Roll Tide operates. So this dude rapping about Nick Saban, smart move. So that is a way to an Alabama girl's heart right there. But I thought he was a shitty rapper.
Yeah, dude, he was. He needed to put like
guys they're like, man, where'd you learn how to drop bars like that? He's just like, just being who I am. I'm like, a fucking loser? I mean, like, those are shit bars. That's worse than Chris Noble on fucking...
Yeah, but, like, look at the guys that were complimenting him. They were just, like, all, like, white guys, like, American guys. Like, hey, man, your rap's really cool. Like, do they know a whole lot about rap? Probably not.
Yeah. I know if I want to hear good rap, that I just sit in the back seat of your car on the way to school. It's where to listen to good rap. So all right. So for those of you that would like to see the beautiful Emma daily, she can be found. Well, fucking go patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. But you can also see her on Instagram. What's your Insta tag?
At M Louise Turner.
That's EM Louise Turner. And what's the quote? Drake feel
Kanye attitude with Drake feelings.
Yes, that to some of our listeners, that means a lot. That means that's a life changer. I would say there's a couple thousand girls out there listening to the podcast going, right.
I want to be relatable. Yeah.
I understand. Mine says realtor. I get it.
That's awesome. So there was obviously this pre, what would you call it, Johnny? The pre-rose kind of deal.
I think Cam made up that term.
Okay.
But
well, then there's a first impression rose that is up for grabs. So after the whole douchiness of everyone's first impressions, which the majority of the dudes were completely nervous as hell, and I'd probably be nervous as fuck too going into this situation. But
yeah, I mean, there's because I would say 98% of them have never had a camera in front of their face in their lives.
It was funny because my buddy was asking me, he's like, dude, like when you were on Survivor, he's like, the cameras, did you ever get used to them? I'm like, oh yeah, dude. Like once they're filming you. But the thing is, on Survivor, when the cameras are on you, you're out strategizing and you're in the jungle and you're making fire. This is like, I think, more intense because it's like a dating situation. I think it would be more nerve-wracking knowing that you're on this show than on a show, let's say, like Survivor or The Amazing Race. So right before she goes into the mansion to, kind of hang out with these dudes and whatnot, she's kind of praying, okay?
I thought it was Keith from The Edge of Extinction going, oh God, what do we do here?
Yeah, so she's praying, so you know right off the bat, like she's pretty hardcore Christian chick, so like kind of, man, she could probably really get along with some of the dudes that we saw before that may have a Christian background. And that's kind of what we end up seeing. She doesn't want perfect, she says. She wants a real dude. It's like, dude, duh. Like, like that's the funny thing. Like when I met my wife or meet friends or whatever, I want just fucking real dudes. And that's like with our podcast, Johnny, on the Survivor shit. That's like we're just real fucking dudes. We're not perfect. We're not experts on any of this shit. We're just fucking real dudes. And she's looking for that in a man. Someone that's just fucking cool, down-to-earth dude. Who
isn't?
Yeah, I know. And a lot of people portray this fake image on social media and Instagram that is like just the fantasy land type shit. We all have crazy stuff going on in our lives. And she just wants to fucking down to earth kind of dude. And
well, we did hear. I checked my watch and I jotted down numbers here. So in the first 72 minutes of the episode, we heard 38 times that she's not perfect, and she is not looking for perfect. And if you fast forward to the end of the show, Chasen was very discouraged because he thought she was perfect. So, Chasen, if you're sitting back wondering why the fuck this shit didn't work out, maybe because you didn't listen to her say 88 times in one evening Yeah, well, but he didn't pay attention. I mean, like, the whole thing was, I think a lot of guys, I understand that, your goal is to sell yourself, but I think a lot of those could have learned the mastery of the game in which you ask questions like, hey, like, I saw you on the bat. Like, what have you been doing since then? Like, isn't this crazy? Like, what are you up to? Like, has this week been nuts for you or what? And, and just, I think she would have like none of those guys, like, they're just like, let me throw out some lines.
Yeah.
The lines were cheesy. All I know is
fishing with dynamite, as I like to say.
And once we go into the house, Luke kind of swoops her up first right away. So, as much as I think, and I know you guys kind of maybe like Luke, I give him props for having the balls to like take the initiative to like, hey, I'm just gonna fucking go up to her. You know what I mean? Like, why not?
Totally. The confidence is key.
He did it twice. He did it to start the talks.
Yes.
And then after the whole Scott situation, she asked for time alone, and he's quick to swoop in again. And that's a huge, like, if there's a guy listening to this that's not forced to watch The Bachelor with your girlfriend or wife or whatever, but you're just a single dude and you watch shitty TV and you're just like, man, I want to listen to a podcast with Jonny Fairplay and Matt Bischoff talking about that. And there's a hot chick, even better. Here's what you should learn from this first episode, and it's a very valuable piece of information. When a girl says, I want to be left alone, she's lying. Whatever a girl says, she doesn't mean in any way. It's the opposite. Am I wrong here, Emma? Or am I...
You're not wrong. I feel like she did want a minute to herself. And then, but like after a couple minutes, you're like, okay, like who's going to pay me attention now?
Yeah. Who's the dumb that's going to figure out, come the fuck out. Here's your chance, motherfucker. The door is open. Yeah. I think
agree
that's
with that.
what, yeah. So, and Luke, who is stupid, don't get me wrong, was smart enough to be like, well, I'm bored. And these guys don't want to talk about kids with me, so let me go outside and talk
conversely, though, if I said I wanted time and I went out and someone like right away, like he had good timing. Like if someone right away came out, I'd be like, did you not hear what I just said?
Yeah.
I want time. Go away.
But why didn't she go out to the fucking front yard and talk to her fucking friends?
That's a good question.
So you're talking about her two friends that were in the van. Freaking van.
In the van, yeah.
Okay, so one thing before we get into that, there's another dude that had some crazy game shit set up outside, right? Some junk in the trunk game.
Connor played junk in the trunk.
Yeah, I liked that. I liked him.
Okay, but here's what I don't like about it. I don't like that this motherfucker can twerk better than Hannah. Dude, this motherfucker's booty clapping, twerking. She looks like the typical white girl that doesn't know how to fucking booty clap or twerk, and he's fucking got it dialed. So someone told her that like standing on your tippy toes and pointing is dancing. Like that's some fucking Michael Hayes fabulous Freebird shit right there. That's not dancing. He
obviously practiced for his prop. So I mean,
he did, and it's crazy because, like, man, some of these guys have these crazy props and introductions that obviously the television network was like, hey, let's make it happen. So
yeah, I think if you do any
whatever,
I think if you do any prep work, they're gonna let you follow through with it. Because I think most of those guys just showed up. They're just like, I'm gonna tell them about my dad's car business, and we should be pretty good to go.
Yeah,
so.
Yeah. That's funny. So there's this first impression rose, you guys.
Yeah. Well, prior to the first impression rose is Scott. So we do have we have the friends we have Demi and Katie in the van, and this is the power of the Bachelorette. This is 2019. This isn't like 2003. This show happens, possibly someone fucking MySpace's Tom and a message fucking gets there fucking, 3 months after production's done. But no, this is 2019. Social media determines life as we fucking know it.
Right.
So The Bachelor's about to start filming. This is how embedded we are in social media. We know that fucking Hannah doesn't have time to fucking check her fucking tweets or search or you to have the opportunity to slip into her DMs. No, you know that you can hit up hold on, which one? Demi, and say, hey, I know you're a good friend. Hannah is going to be the Bachelorette because I know all the inside shit before they even fucking announce it. And my friend, his friend, has a girlfriend. His name's Scott. They talked on Monday. You need to know this shit and blow up his spot.
I love that.
That's huge.
I love it.
Yep, I do too.
That's 2019 technology going.
Good. Girls should do this more often. If a guy is being a fuckboy, fuck him, tell on him. Like, hello, girls, we're all in this together. Fuck the guys.
Right. So yeah, it's like Surveillance Central, and the dude is fucking called out big time.
Oh, my favorite is she grabs it. It's like a teacher ready
like,
to punish the student. And he goes, is this a good let's talk? And she goes, no, probably not.
Yeah. And all the other dudes are like, what the fuck is going on? You know, it's like this dude's getting called out, and she confronts him, and she's like, dude, look, I ain't playing no games. You know,
I'm dating 30 guys at once. I'm not really playing games.
Yeah, I'm not playing games. I'm only playing like a game show, reality TV show. But no, it's like she calls him out, and he's kind of totally backpedaling. Oh, well, yeah, I did talk to this, my girlfriend, but she's really not my girlfriend, like forever type thing. I'm here for love, and if it doesn't, I mean, obviously the dude.
I just wanted to tap it on Monday before I came, so like I didn't show up here with blue balls going, hey, I really need to fuck because I could have fucked my girlfriend on Monday, but I didn't.
The dude is just wanting to be on TV. This is
okay. Well, hold on. Well, his throw. I think you're 100% right, Matt. But his comeback is, she's like, hey, you were with your girlfriend on Monday. He goes, well, weren't you just with a dude for 2 months ago?
Deflection.
But I mean, is there a little
different? No, it's different.
There's no validity to that.
Okay, tell us why it's different.
There's validity, but it's different because she's not hiding it. Everyone who's there knows she was on The Bachelor and knows that she was looking for love with Colton, and that didn't work out. So now she's looking for love elsewhere. This guy just has a girlfriend and like wants to get on TV and like is hiding the fact that if he came up and was like, yeah, I have a girlfriend back home, but I want to see if this works. Like it's totally different. Totally different.
I would agree with you.
But if he says, hey, I got this girlfriend back home, but I want to see this, like, she's not gonna keep him for that either.
Well, no, but she's at least.
I don't understand why he's applying to be on the show with a girlfriend.
Well, yeah,
because it's his only way to get on a fucking reality TV show. Because this dude thinks he's gonna make it somewhere because he was on the fucking show.
He is like so many guys out there that want to have their cake and eat it too. He wants to go on The Bachelorette just in case something happens, and if he did make it to the end, then great, cool. I'll stay with her because I get all this publicity. I get this, I get that. But like also, I have someone on the back burner at home just in case this doesn't work out. Like this is like every guy in 2019.
So
well, I mean, not every guy.
well, the good news is she calls him out and she confronts him and she kicks him out of the damn house.
Well, how great is it?
My favorite moment of every Bachelor, Bachelorette I've watched a lot. I swear to God, this is my favorite moment.
I love it. The
awesome.
Highlight for me, other than saying, it's probably not going to be good, Scott, what was when they were about to walk back in and all the guys like little bitches are like, shh. They're just like, let's be quiet.
They wanted to know. They like good gossip as well.
Oh yeah, I mean, you're fucking. I mean, like, peek behind the curtain, Emma. Reality TV, lots of downtime. You are fucking bored as shit a lot. It's not as bad. Like Survivor if you don't have a challenge or you don't have tribal, you're just dying of boredom. But on other reality shows in which, there's more shit to do, it's a ton of hurry up and wait. So it's just like, hey, we're going to do this, but wait right here for 3 fucking hours and don't fucking talk. So it's a lot of that. It fucking sucks. So.
Well, all I know is I'm glad that dude went home, because literally,
Same.
The guy he fucking annoyed me anyways. He was kind of just like a Guido type douchey guy. And
definition of a fuckboy.
Right. Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, he goes home, and she ends up having to give the first impression rose to somebody, and she gives it to the tiger guy, Luke. And you're happy about that, Emma, right?
Yes,
Desperate
I am.
Luke. Desperate Luke.
I don't think he's desperate.
Well,
I liked him.
I thought the beginning of the show when he's on top of the car and he's doing this fucking tiger shit.
I didn't like that.
Yeah, it was a bit over the top cheesy, and he's going "arr" and she's like "arr." But
I too was making noises that sounded nothing. I was just like, "Where's the remote?"
I think that it doesn't surprise me, because he seems like a pretty hardcore Christian dude. She seems like a pretty hardcore Christian chick, and him getting that rose is I expected that, to be honest.
Sure. All right, so we then get to the rose ceremony, and I did like Hannah before the ceremony explaining. She goes, "Hey, for those that don't get a rose, just know that she went with her heart, and that she feels that you're ugly." I think the second part, most important, was not openly communicated. But that's got to be it. I mean, like, what are you basing? I mean, we did waste a lot of time with Scott. We learned from everyone that was ugly, that was worried.
There's no way, because honestly, going into this, looking at every single guy, I starred the ones that I liked. My 4 picks were Peter, Chasen, Luke P, and Tyler C. And Peter and Jason got cut. Like, how? It can't be based on looks. I thought those two were pretty attractive.
Peter didn't get cut.
Yeah, he did. Did he not?
No, Peter got a rose.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive.
Then who am I talking about?
I don't. Let's see.
Who was the one? Who was the one standing right beside the creepy guy?
Weirdo John Paul Jones got the last rose. Okay,
who was the guy standing right to the left of him?
Ryan was a no. Old Matt Donald was a no. The Box King was a no. And the other pilot, Chasen, who didn't pay attention to the fact that she is not perfect, he did not get a rose.
Wait, who was the Box King again? What was his name?
The Box King was Joe.
Joe.
Yeah.
I liked Joe, I think.
Oh, God. Joe the Box King. Go back to making boxes. But I tell you what, they did a preview.
Fold some fucking corners, motherfucker. Well, no, hold on. Real quick before the final roses go out.
Well, the dude that fucking said it's going to take me a lot of time to recover from this shit. Yeah. Give me a fucking break. You just met this fucking girl. If you fucking have an issue of having...
No. They did not just... I would have... Just based on what I saw, every motherfucker in that house not only watched The Bachelor, they studied the fucking Bachelor. They knew Hannah more than Hannah knows. I think there's some fucking creepy stalko motherfuckers in that fucking house.
Oh, yeah. I totally can relate to him. If I was on The Bachelor and I was one of the first people cut, I would be like, yeah, I'm going to need some time to recover from this. It's a huge blow to your ego that you're one of the first people cut.
Based on hotness, you're safe. So no, relax. So I did like Jonathan the server. He's not getting the rose, so he's shooting her hardcore stalker stares, which I often find is the best strategy. When I'm worried about not getting the affection of a lady, I like to pretend to be a serial killer.
That works. It works.
Look at them longingly like that, and it worked for Jonathan. So what did we learn today? That that don't listen to what girls say and stare at them like stalkers. They and don't fucking mention boxes or come out of boxes.
No.
Boxes, not sexy. And if you have a girlfriend, don't do the Bachelorette.
True.
Well,
those are some good points.
All I know is going into this, I was apprehensive, but watching the previews for the rest of the season, it looks to be entertaining. I will say. So
I love fights. Fighting is good. I mean, so you've seen more Bachelors and Bachelorettes than Matt and I combined, which if the answer is 1, you win. But like, do they typically have fighting on the show? Is that a thing?
I don't think it's typical. They have a couple times, like someone got punched one season.
Okay, because it's going down this season.
Yeah.
This season, like, I don't know.
Well, I want to ask you, is there a lot of sex? I mean, are they like closing doors and saying, "Hey, camera, shut off"? Like we're getting down. How
I feel like the last couple years, it's gotten a little bit more like scandalous in that way. Mm-hmm. But it's really like they kind of don't really like talk about it until they get like you get to the fantasy suite, which is like right at the end, where you have a choice of like staying in a room with someone or like just going by yourself.
Cool. Well, that explains it. People like to see other people courting one another and falling in love, and that's what we're going to get. And I'm excited to see how it plays out. This has been mega fun.
I'm already in love with this podcast.
I do too, man. I mean, Jonny Fairplay, I mean, we're spending more time now, but together than ever. And Emma, it's been fucking awesome. I'm stoked to have you on this shit, and I'm excited for this season. And
me too.
Make sure if you want to see the video version of this, check out patreon.com/Survivor NSFW. Stay tuned every Wednesday on iTunes and wherever you find podcasts to listen to Jonny and I's Survivor podcast, where this Wednesday is a season finale. It's going to be great. And Emma, once again, what other podcasts do you do and where can they find it?
I also do a podcast about dating. It's called FXCK BOY Radio. You can find it on the Apple Podcast app. It's FXCK BOY Radio. And yeah, anywhere you can listen to podcasts, you can find us there.
Awesome. Well, Jonny Fairplay, man, I'm glad you talked me into this shit. My buddies are here. They're behind my black curtain here. I told them they had to be quiet. They've been fucking real good sports. And,
I love that you have a glory hole set up.
I do have a glory hole. I do have a Bachelorette glory hole. So everybody, thank you, listeners. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Spread the word. Check out all the shit that we do on all of our Survivor podcast and Emma's podcast. And we will see you next week for episode 2 of The Bachelorette. Cheers, everybody.
Woo!